Welcome back to the channel, guys, and yes guys, the legend is reborn, and that is the HWA Evo, or as you guys can see by the guys, it is basically the restomod of the legendary 90s DTM racing legend, i.e. the 190 Evo 2, but it has been completely brought up to the new life with a complete W201 190 Evo 2 look, but with new tech underneath the bonnet, and of course a lot more going into the technicalities. But of course it's a 190 Evo 2 resto mod with a complete, even more menacing look that dials it up to 12, not 11 but 12, because this thing has wider arches than the 190 Evo 2, a completely new front splitter on its own, completely takes out the Mercedes badges, because this is in fact a proper HWA product. And this HWA, if you ask what it is, HWA is actually the brand that is coming up with this, i.e. the HWA Evo, and HWA actually stands for Hans Werner Aufrecht. Who is he, you might ask? He's actually the very man who invented AMG and brought up this E190 Evo 2, the 300 SEL 6.3 Red Pig, and helped Mercedes build the road legal Strassen version, i.e. the CLK GTR Strassen version. He helped build one of the most legendary and one of the most monstrous hypers to ever hit the roads, and of course now he has come up with his own brand, HWA Legacy, and they are bringing the HWA Evo as their first ever car, and only 100 of these bad boys will ever be made. And considering the fact that this has a a 3-liter twin turbocharged V6 under the bonnet, which puts out 443 horsepower, and the engine is linked to a 6-speed manual, that means that this is going to be one of the most exhilarating cars to drive in the new gen time. And of course we've got a complete market where resto mods have in fact got quite a lot of demand, including the likes of Gunther Werks, Stutt Hill, Singer, and of course a lot more brands making their way onto the market. And HWA marking their stamp for a permanent record with the likes of the HWA Evo being their first car makes it even more jaw-dropping. And of course the looks are a complete 12, as I said. I mean, it's a 12 out of 10 if you ask me, with a complete HWA Evo badging, as well as I said, a complete Evo style wing. But the hips and the girth is what gets me, because the 190 Evo 2 had hips, of course it had the wide body arches, but not as wide as this. I mean, just look at that rear view portrait. Now that is hot. And of course it has also got the new LED taillights and headlights. It's got the new horizontal style taillights where it's eliminated the old gen vertical taillights, a complete modernized look of course to bring it up to new gen standards, but nevertheless maintaining a complete 190E 90s DTM legend look. And of course 6-spoke wheels, carbon ceramics, a complete carbon fiber body in fact, and of course as I said 443 horsepower, 6-speed manual. More tech specs are yet to come, they are yet to be finalized, but this is the final render. And of course this thing looks menacing on its own, and I said new LED headlights as well. Just look at them, this is a complete modernization, new front splitter as well. It eliminates the struts which are actually holding it on the original 190 Evo 2, but nevertheless still looks as menacing as possible. And of course only 100 being made means that with all this monstrosity, and keep in mind that this is in fact road legal. Yes guys, you can drive this on the road. It is not a complete track weapon, it is a track ready street legal weapon on its own. Wow, I mean, a proper 90s legend being brought up back to our new gen standards and being offered as a production car is something I would not have imagined, but I am not saying no to it in any way. But coming to the fact of the price, this is where it's a proper hit to the head, because of course with all this racing pedigree, from the fact that HWA or Hans Werner Aufrecht is literally the man who invented AMG, the price tag is a whopping 714,000 euros. Wow, I mean, only 100 being made. I wouldn't have expected nothing less, to be honest, but 714,000 euros, wow, I've got to go rob a bank somewhere. And nevertheless guys, I mean, it is a proper racing legend being completely brought up to new gen standards with complete racing suspension, racing brakes, a twin turbo V6, 443 brake horsepower at the helm, and of course a complete 190 Evo 2 guys in its own. And as I said, only 100 being made, 5 times rarer than the original 190 Evo 2. But nevertheless guys, I mean, the 90s Merc designs were probably one of the most iconic and one of the best looking, and of course the W201, which is basically what this is based on, is one of the best looking out there. But the W124 takes the cake for me, because that was in fact a car we had twice over when I was a kid. But nevertheless guys, a proper race car on its own. The fact that it's street legal makes it even more better. Only 100 being made, but that 714,000 euro price tag is something that may be quite a hit. It's not maybe, it is definitely a hit, because of course you are getting a little DTM legend reborn with a new tech, and the fact that it's a 6-speed manual, not a paddle shift gearbox, makes it even more exhilarating. But guys, HWA have actually partnered up with none other than Curated, because they are complete experts in terms of finding buyers for these types of cars. I mean, they have sold some exotics on exotics. I mean, Koenigseggs, Lambos, the old Diablo GTRs and GTs, and every single thing that you can think of, they have sold. So they are the perfect people to collab with to make sure that this goes into the right hands, and the fact that this is driven. But nevertheless, guys, only 100 being made, and of course, John Tamirian taking the hand in terms of the Curated side. So let's see what happens. I mean, only 100 being made. Deliveries are expected to start in the end of 2025. So until then, there's going to be a lot more development. And in talks of development, this took over 12,000 hours to work out, because they obviously had to do a lot of copy pasting and deleting in terms of the design of the 190 Evo 2. And in terms of the tech part, they are going to be doing a state of the art engine, either twin turbo V6, as I said. But nevertheless, guys, a proper race car. And so the fact that it's dedicated to the legendary DTM legend, i.e. the 190 Evo 2, makes it even more better. And the fact that the looks have not been dimmed but completely dialed up to 12 makes it even more better. I am a simp for 90s Mercs right there. I'm pretty sure you all will have known by now. But nevertheless, guys, a proper race car on its own, and it's got a complete contour body, racing suspension, racing brakes, 443 horsepower, as I said, a 4-door, so it is in fact quite practical, with a boot, that Evo 2 wing that I love more than ever. That menacing look with those arches on the side is just too good. That new front splitter, of course, LED tail lights, headlights, HWA badging, of course. And the rear end is probably one of my most favorite looks, if not the front 3/4. But nevertheless, that is a Giat if you ask me. Anyways, guys, coming back to the topic, wow. But nevertheless, those beautiful 6-spoke wheels as well complete the look. But this, guys, is a proper rebirth of a legend on its own. The fact that they've completely come up with a new engine, and the fact that they're willing to bring back this legend and as a production model this time, for the fact that it's a road legal car, makes it even more mind-boggling. Nevertheless, guys, would you pay 714,000 euros for this? Only 100 being made, of course, making it quite rare, 5 times rarer than the original 190E. But nevertheless, guys, what do you guys think? Leave it in the comments below. Thanks for watching, guys. Remember to hit that sub button and click the bell to ensure that you don't miss out on any future videos. Thanks for watching, guys. See ya. Now I'm gonna go rob a bank.